After 14 games in the Premier League, 1 point, just 1 point, separates the top 5. And today, with a win against Man City, we can move to the top of that tree. Hello there folks, and welcome to part 7 of Season 2 of our Liverpool save on Football Manager 2020. And today, as I've just alluded to, it is time for possibly the title deciders. A little bit early to say that yet, I think, especially because it's not just between ourselves and Man City this season. But nonetheless, it is a huge game at the Etihad against Pep Guardiola's Man City. And then we've got a game afterwards against Barcelona. We have qualified for the next stage of the Champions League. But this will determine whether we can get to the top of the group and finish top and possibly get a better draw in the first knockout round. But let's have a quick look at how we've got on in the 2 games since the last episode. And I'm happy to report that they were 2 wins. However, we had a bit of a scare, just a bit of a scare against Fulham, because we did go 1-0 up against them, but 54 minutes in, they were 2-1 up at Craven Cottage, and they were heading for one of their first, I think it's one of their first wins of the season. I might be wrong, they might be doing better than I think. But yeah, as you can see, they've only got 8 points, so they were heading for very much a scalp away from home. I wouldn't have been surprised again, because we have lost at home plenty of times, but luckily, a quick 2 goals from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and super sub Mo Salah meant that we did win that game by 3-2. You can see that Balotelli got a goal as well. If we look at his form since he's been at the club, he's certainly not done too badly, to be honest. I think when he's played, he's not been too bad. I mean, I think he scored more than that in the Premier League. Has he only scored 1 goal in the Premier League? I'm sure he scored more than that in the Premier League. He scored 1 goal against Fulham, 1 goal against Millwall, and that's it. I thought he'd scored more than that, you know. 3 goals in all appearances. 1 goal continentally, 1 goal in the league, and 1 goal in the cup. So when did he score a continental basis? I'm interested in this now. I thought he'd scored more than that, so scrap what I just said. He scored in the cup against Millwall. He scored against Fulham in the league. Why this fixtures thing gone wonky again? That's it. When did he score in the... there we go. He scored again... right, in the Super Cup. Fair enough. But he's only scored 3, so that's not as good as I thought he had been. To be fair... if you look at his form, which is a bit of a nice scream, the stats scream anyway, but he's had 10 appearances, a few of them off the bench. Not done too badly, to be fair. Average rating just under a 7. And he's not done too badly, but of course he is very much that backup player. But it's only his first 10 games, so we'll let him off a little bit for that. But after that scare, we made sure we went and won quite comprehensively at home against Burnley. Ita did start for us, because I think Robertson was either injured or suspended. I don't know why I'd start Ita else. But anyway, Ita started, and we got a 2-0 win against Burnley, which was all jolly good. And today we face Man City and Barcelona. Of course, Man City are team we've had a very good run of form against. Apart from that FA Cup semi-final, and we've beaten them, what's that on aggregate? 8-3 in 3 games. So that's an average of about a sort of 3-0 win, 3-1 win every time, isn't it, really? Which isn't all that bad at all. But things can change. It's a new season. Man City have only lost, I think, 1 or 2 games so far this year. They've had a bit of a rocky road, but after 14 games, they've lost 2 games. But still at the top of the Premier League. And the last 2 games, they actually drew to Manchester United. But apart from that, their losses have come against Everton and against Arsenal. Crucially, they haven't dropped points, I don't think, at home yet this season, apart from a friendly against Schalke. They actually dropped points against West Ham at home, but not lost at home yet. And hopefully, we can change all that today. But the team facing Man City in today's game is the team that deserve to be here. The team with the average ratings, really. That's why there might be 1 or 2 shocks starting today. So Alisson starts with Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk and Robertson. We're starting Matip as opposed to Laporte, because as you can see, Laporte hasn't really played all that well this year, it has to be said. His stats aren't abysmal, but an average rating of 6.81 isn't too great, and that actually counts in the Nations League, which I'm not really too fussed about. So with... it's actually increased because of that Nations League, albeit only slight. But a 6.78 rating isn't really good enough. Whereas if we look at Joel Matip, I've only just found this screen, and I am liking this screen quite a bit. I know you probably noticed. But if we look at the Prem and the Champions League, his average rating is far better. We've had 7.22 rating. He's won a lot of tackles. So if we looked at all the stats, I think he'd be a little bit close. But Joel Matip definitely deserves a spot in this big match. Of course, Robertson left back. That's not much of a surprise. Again, Fabinho's not had much of a season. I'm not going to bother going through everyone's stats. But Henderson starts over him with Oxlade-Chamberlain and Berge in the midfield. And with our normal front 3, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane and Bobby Firmino. But I don't think there's much to report, to be honest, apart from that. That's happened in the 2 games we've had off. Jurgen Klopp still in charge at Tottenham, amazingly. I mean, their slump just gets worse and worse. I can't remember who they lost to last week, but they had another loss, and they're They are down lingering in sort of 12th, 13th, even lower than that. So that job might come available at some point. Not that I don't think I'll be... But it'd be an interesting challenge, I suppose, especially if they got relegated. But at the moment, I'm definitely happy with Liverpool at the time being. But they're playing a solid squad. They've got Ben Chilwell, of course, now, who has made 6 appearances this year. A solid bench. I mean, the fact that Aguero's on the bench and Jesus is on the bench and even Kyle Walker is just insulting, really, isn't it? That's a real worry. But we've beaten this Man City side 3 times out of 4. And even though we did lose to them last time, we are going to tell the lads to just try and give it our all and make sure that we want to avenge that situation. We have got a good chance, correct? And hopefully we will do well against Man City. I haven't played FM for a few days. Hopefully we don't get that syndrome that we don't play FM and we don't do very well. Those of you who do play FM regularly will know exactly what I'm talking about. Whether that's after a new update or you haven't played for a while, it does happen quite a bit. That something doesn't happen well. But that's a really bad start for City. Within 20 seconds, we very nearly took the lead. And I'm glad other people have spoke about this. I've noticed I think it was on a Facebook post, that people were saying that inside forwards, or wingers in general, or wing backs, always seem to shoot. In terms of take it to the far post and just shoot randomly, which I'm glad a lot of people have noticed, and it's not only just me with my silly tactics. Even though I'm trying to get them to cross the ball more, there's so many chances wasted just going into the side netting. So I wonder whether, if that's fixed, whether our number of shots goes down. I don't think that's something that has been fixed yet, but it just makes me wonder if our number of shots will go down if we do adjust that. Because we have so many wasteful shots, in my opinion, when we just put them into the side netting. But it seems to be a problem that every FM player, if they are playing wingers, of course, some people just play with central players. It's a lovely ball, by the way, from Henderson to Firmino. He's through on goal, one-on-one with Edison. And one thing they haven't changed is that nobody scores from one-on-ones, do they? Deary me. But Bobby Firmino was offside anyway, so it shouldn't matter all that much. But in the early exchange of this game, we don't look all that bad. It seems that their players have been focused. Let's go and focus our lads. Let's make sure they don't catch us on the hop. I've got 2 drinks today. I've got my Williams mug with my cup of tea. I've got my Carlsberg pint. Don't worry, it's not Carlsberg. It's a pint of squash. So we are definitely hydrated to make sure we will win this very important game. I don't think hydration alone, unfortunately, is going to be enough. It's going to be a little bit of luck. And just how we play, really, throughout the whole game. But Florentino, that he's never heard of him. Leroy Sané, over to Ben Chilwell, who already seems a little bit tired, actually. De Bruyne to Sané. Back to De Bruyne. To Fiorentino. Is it Fiorentino? No, it's Florentino. To Fernandinho. João Cancelo on the wing. Robertson needs to close him down a lot more. This could be a goal. I just feel it could be. And within a few seconds of saying that, Bernardo Silva opens the scoring for Manchester City. We're going to have to go attacking for the next 10 minutes of this half, just so we can try and get that equaliser before half-time. So have a look how it happened. It happened, I would say, because Robertson was marking the wrong man, really. Even though, to be fair, that man was the man who went on to score. So what do? Do you prevent the ball trying to go in, or do you prevent it from going in the net once the ball's been passed? Tricky situation, I suppose. It looks like, even though we have gone attacking, that we aren't going to get that equalised before half-time. So we are going to tell the lads we're going to be aggressive with them, and we're going to say we expect a much better showing in the next half. And to be honest, we haven't really done anything of note yet. So we're going to bring Firmino back to a deep line forward. That's a position he likes to play in. We're going to put you as a Mazzala. I'm going to make you an attacking player as well. I think that's not going to be any harm. Maybe let's bring these back a little bit, though. Put them on support. Bring the fullbacks back just slightly. And you prefer being a fullback, so we'll put you on fullback on support. And you as well, and we'll put you on fullback support. I don't mind that at all. But apart from that, I think we are going to keep things fairly similar. We're not out of the water yet. It's not all over, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. Tell the lads to be a bit more expressive, because I think that's always something that, if we do that, always helps us out a ton. So we're going to start the second half. Hopefully, it's a good start for us in the second half. Not good to see that our captain's anxious. That's the one man you don't want to be anxious on the pitch. But even though we do seem to have a lot of shots, we've only been limited to 2 so far today, which is really worrying. It seems Man City are outclassing us, and they very nearly make it 2-0 with that corner there. And it looks like Ox have picked up a bit of a knock. So we are going to bring him off straight away to make sure that injury's not aggravated. And we're going to bring on... we're going to have to bring on Fabinho. I mean, do we bring Milner on? I just don't think he offers the... Saying that, he does. I think he does. Milner has scored plenty of goals so far this year, and I think he does offer that creativity. So we are going to bring Milner on for Oxide Champion. It could be something that loses us the game, I'm not really sure. But only 2 shots from us this game so far. Really concerning to see. And yeah, we've just not really made an impression today at all, have we? I've said that it could be the, not playing FM for a while syndrome. I mean, beating Man City is a big task. So if you don't win today, it's not the end of the world. But it certainly doesn't help our title chances. This sort of ball really worries me. These never end well, do they? But no, we've got away from it at the moment. Robertson just needs to hoof the ball up. A lovely ball through to Mane. And John Stones makes a mistake. Mane one-on-one. We just score one of them. And thank God somebody scores a one-on-one. A lovely assist, as I hinted. Come on, Robbo. Get the ball up and it might end well. A very good ball from Robbo through to Mane. And we make it 11 goals for the season for Sadio Mane. That man is a goal machine so far this year. Salah's really helped as well. And Firmino's and also Balotelli. Of course, we can't ignore. Affect? I don't know what word I was going for. Affect and ignore have got absolutely nothing to do with each other. But of course, we can't ignore Origi. But Mane's been that real goal machine up front so far. And can we take that positive momentum we've got now and go and make it 2-1 and go and win this game? But I feel City have got a little bit more fight than that. But Sane with a bizarre shot there, it has to be said. I think we're going to make another change, you know. And I think what we are going to do, it's bold. But I have faith in Balotelli today. I think that if we bring Balotelli on, he might just be able to do something. Of course, against his former side, Man City. And I think that's something Balotelli would really thrive on. I think he would. But with 20 minutes to go, the scores are equal. And to be honest, even though it's not the best result for anybody, I would take a draw. But I just feel that Man City have got something to say about that. Oh, bloody hell. I should just never talk, should I? I should just keep quiet. Whenever I speak about Man City doing something about this, both times in the game, within 2 seconds they've gone and scored. We got 20 minutes to go. Let's see how this highlight goes. Can we make it 2-2? Can we equalise for the second time? Salah over dribble through. Still dribbling is Salah. Still dribbling. Mane's there. Back to Sander Berge. Milner puts the ball into Robertson. Very nice. Can he get another assist on the board? Robertson not really being pressured. That could be crucial. To Mo Salah. It's in! Mo Salah makes it 2 each. I mean, we've got to go and win this now. We really have got to go and win this. It's going to be a bit more direct. Going to be a bit lower in terms of our defensive line. Just to make sure there's a bit of a gap between the players. Really to make sure that we don't get exploited on the counter. But only 6 shots today. But for once, to be fair, we've been quite clinical. But not good for the heart rate whatsoever. But Robertson with the technical assist, really. Robertson put it in. Balotelli couldn't get to it because Ruben put the pressure on. But a lovely volley. I just presumed it was a tall header. But a lovely volley from Mo Salah. And we make it 2 each. Now we can come on and change the game now. I think we bring a defensive face on. I think we bring Fabinho on for Jordan Henderson, who seems to have been a little bit anxious all day. And I think having that bit of a defensive strong point, I know that we would love to win, but I think a draw would be good as well. We're going to keep our attacking intentions there. We're going to keep showing our attacking intentions, but equally, I would probably take a draw today. But I have to see how we get on. It's in the right ballpark. This is João Cancelo back to Everton. Everton? Good, back to Everton. Ederson. There we go. Putting the pressure on. Bernardo. Willie beats Andy Robertson. Andy Robertson having to take on 2 men there. Not really good enough in terms of the support shown. Florentino, whatever his bloody name is. I'm going to go risky now. We are going to get very attacking. I know a draw is good in this game, but I feel there's going to be one last twist. Have we made a bad decision going to very attacking? I guess we're going to find out. Kyle Walker. John Stones. Back to Ederson. Good pressure still being put on by our attackers. Put out to Leroy Sané. It seems he's got plenty of space, you know. He's ran past Alexander-Arnold. Fabinho's there. Very good tackle, but is that going to be enough? Man City coming back again. Cancelo. Far too much room. It has to be said. He gets the shot on. There's far too much room there for Man City. But we can't give another shout, so we can't tell the players what the hell are you doing about that. But we could have a chance here. Mane's attacking. Beaten by John Stones. But we do have a throw in here. Is there going to be another twist in the tail from this throw in? As I thought. I didn't think that highlight would be that short just to show that. Let's see. Robbo to Fabinho. Fabinho being put under good pressure by Bernardo Silva. But can we get through this barren City defence? What am I on about? This strong City defence. I'll just try and cope with fancy words, I think. Can we get through this big City defence? That's probably the best way to say it. Lovely ball from Fabinho to Salah, but it's a bit too much, unfortunately. Just a bit too much, and I think that could be all she wrote in this game. Our last chance. For the first time in this series, it is going to be a draw against Man City, which doesn't help both sides. But for me, Pep might not feel the same way. But for me, I'm okay with that. I'm going to say unlucky. I'm not going to be too positive about it because where we're looking to be, I don't think that we can really take that draw as too positive. Oxide Challenge only out for a few days. That's okay. We are unbeaten in 7. We've played Manchester United. We played both Manchester sides in that time. So 2 draws, 5 wins. So in 7 matches, what's that? 17 points. So not too shabby at all. Pardon me. But, of course, because there's only 1 point between all these sides, here's a chance United, Everton and Arsenal could all go above us with positive results for them. And Manchester United are in action tomorrow against Wolves. Tricky match. Arsenal have got West Ham and Chelsea have got Brighton. So I suppose that just before the Barcelona game, I will show you how they got on. But, yeah, next up, let's see if we can go and win. I mean, it's a pretty tough day. City, then Barcelona. If we can get through this with a good result, not too shabby at all. Well, a little bit of Liverpool-related news, just certainly interesting. One of our biggest legends, Jezza. Steven Gerrard is left Rangers. He's joined Norwich, who sacked Daniel Farke, a few weeks ago. And Jezza's took over at Norwich. So for the first time in our career, we're going to face Steven Gerrard later in the season. I'm excited. As you can see, his long-term plan is to be manager of this club, which I'm sure will probably happen at some point, whether that be in his save real life or whatever. But nice to see that he's in the Premier League. Don't know if he's took the right job with Norwich. They've always been a bit of a yo-yo club. But they're embroiled in the battle for survival with Tottenham, who still have not got rid of Jurgen Klopp, despite only having 13 points after 15 matches. They went and battered Monaco 5-1. So it seems it's a Premier League issue, really. As you can see, 1 point in the last 3 games, which, to be fair, they should be getting at least 6 points out of Southampton, Leicester and West Brom, it has to be said. But lost 2 and got their only point against West Brom. But it's not looking good for them whatsoever at the moment. I mean, only a few wins in the Premier League. Their last win in the Premier League coming against Burnley, and before that against Brighton. Have they really only won 2 Premier League games all year? They'll beat Leeds, which isn't a surprise either. But 3 Premier League wins out of 15, well, that's a disaster for them, isn't it? And they've lost to some pretty small names. I mean, Norwich, who are down there, of course, lost to Watford. Southampton are only just above them. I mean, you know, I'm interested in this. Has Klopp inherited a poor squad? I mean, he hasn't. It's basically the same squad as it is at the moment. And these average ratings are pretty impressive. So I have absolutely no idea what's going on at Spurs at the minute. But I can guess if Kloppy doesn't improve his fortunes over the next few matches, he might well be getting the sack. But in terms of the Premier League then, Arsenal and Everton didn't really hold up their end of the bargain, to be honest. Arsenal actually lost to West Ham. West Ham have pulled off a few scalps this year. They beat Tottenham, which isn't really a scalp. They drew against Man City as well. As you can see, Everton only got a draw as well. They drew against Leicester, which isn't a bad result, to be fair. But Manchester United, with a narrow 1-0 win against Wolves, have gone to the top of the table. So there's now 3 points between the 5 of us, but it is still very close with 15 games in. And a big game next weekend is Arsenal against Everton, 4th against 5th. That might just separate things. And I've got a funny feeling with that game, Man United against Tottenham. And, of course, we've got the festive period. I feel like the 3 of us, United, City and ourselves, will begin to pull away. That's just my feeling. I don't think Everton have got the legs. Have they still got Silva? No, they've got Javi Gracia, funnily enough, former Watford manager. This is like, scrap the game. This is looking at the save. I mean, Marco Silva, of course, former Watford manager, and it seems that they're quite like their former Watford managers. But that's an interesting signing in Javi Gracia, and they're certainly in good form. Is it still Unai Emery at the Arsenal? Yes, it is. Nice to see. And the 3 managers at the 3 clubs at the top are still the same. But anyway, we could spend hours on end chatting about our FM save and what it's looking like. Today we have our game against Barcelona. Of course, we lost 2-0 in the away fixture, but hopefully we should have a bit of a boost at the fact that I think if we can beat them 2-0, 2-0 or I don't really know how it works, to be honest, in the Champions League. Should we have a quick look? Group stage. So, league sorting rules. Results between teams, which there is a star for. Can't find the star, though. What's the star for? Where's the star? Where's the star? I don't know. But I would guess that results between teams come first, then goal difference, then goals scored. So basically, because that comes first, we have to beat them 2-0, 3-1, whatever. But 3-0 would be good enough, because that would be that we beat their results. And we'll have to see how we get on. We've qualified anyway. It's a bit of a drab match. I'm just trying to build it up for the fact we could come top of our group. And a win against Barcelona would be pretty nice going into that Christmas period. But the team for the match, we've got Laporte back in, because Van Dijk's actually got a suspension because he did get a yellow card in that Man City game. Fabinho's back in the squad. We've got Henderson and Berge in the midfield with our normal front 3. I mean, just look at that squad. Of course, we've got Gini Wijnaldum, who we're facing again for the second time, which I'm not frightened about whatsoever. How's he gone on? He's got on decently. 19 appearances, 7.2 average rating at Barcelona. But I didn't see our former player Luis Suarez in there, so maybe he's moved on. I'm tempted to look, but we can't keep looking at everybody today. No, he's on the bench. So that's our question answered nice and quickly. He hasn't moved on. He's just on the bench for Barcelona. So, as I've said, it doesn't really matter how we get on. I mean, we've outclassed the other two teams in the group. There's no two ways about it. And funnily enough, Celtic are actually beating Schalke now. I mean, if you look at those points, it's not as a good start as we had to our last Champions League campaign with 6 wins out of 6. But you could argue that group was a little bit easier, wasn't it? But this group, I thought Schalke would be a bit more of a presence, but I suppose 4 games against ourselves and Barca doesn't really help their cause. I think we do undervalue ourselves a little bit sometimes. But Barca have been very good. They've drawn 1 game, which is the one against us at the moment. But they've got a 100% record apart from that at the moment. But we do seem to be dominating the Spanish Giants at the moment. I wouldn't say dominating, but in terms of shots, we certainly are. With 7 shots, and that's Suarez. I'm assuming it's not Luis Suarez who's come on already, but it could be. Antoine Griezmann to Frankie de Jong. Sergio Busquets out wide to Jordi Alba. You can just see they play some lovely football. We can't really seem to get close to them. But Jordi Alba, back to de Jong. It's a question that Berge could have got to that. De Jong. I mean, they're just mugging us off at the moment. Sergio, you love to see it though, don't you really? Samuel Umtiti back to Lenglet. No idea. Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Gerard Piqué. I mean, this is basically, you know, if we had this squad, it wouldn't be too shabby, would it? Sergio Roberto. Busquets. Roberto again, Basta Busquets. This is really sort of pass and move play, and they've got a ball through to Suarez, who's had a shot, but that was a very timed shot. Is it Luis Suarez? Yes, they've... Oh, Messi's already had an injury. He's got a potential foot injury. That's why Luis Suarez has come on. But one of their big men, Lionel Messi, has been brought off due to an injury. But because Barcelona are such a good squad, they've got Luis Suarez to replace him on the bench. Deary me. But if we can get a goal, we're favourites to win. I don't think we're playing too bad. A bit of a boring match so far. We've really just that as a highlight. But we don't seem to have played too badly at all. 10 shots now. 3 of those on target. 1 clear-cut chance. Let's see if we can go and get the first goal. Fabinho. Fabinho's still on the ball. Don't shoot there. To be fair, he's through. Wijnaldum, very good. Oh, wow. Look at that from Bobby Firmino. Wijnaldum's not going to like that, is he? Former Liverpool player. He tackled Fabinho just to set Firmino up. But to be honest, it wasn't the easiest chances whatsoever. But Fabinho have a really nice run here. Gets it past Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum tries to keep up with him. He does tackle him in the end, but sets up Firmino. And a lovely curling shot. That's a lot harder than it looks, to be fair. And that is a very good bit of news to go and take the lead against Barca. And as you say, because the result is lesser than that 2-0 win that they had, we're still below them in the group. Anyway, Fabinho. Out to Alexander-Arnold. Into the box for Mane. Oh, just off the post. Second chance possibly? No, Salah can't control it, unfortunately. And it could be a chance for Barcelona here, but luckily nothing comes of it for now. But only a few minutes later, Barcelona could have a chance here. Luis Suarez. Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba still. Berge trying to put the pressure on to De Jong. Lovely ball over to Roberto. We're not really covering that right wing to Suarez. Suarez still. Very good block from Fabinho. That's exactly what he's in the squad for. He's got given away a free kick, granted, but as a defensive midfielder, he's got a 7 out of 10 rating, which shows he hasn't done all that badly today at all. We're going to bring Origi on. He doesn't really get much of a chance. We're going to bring Origi on for Mane, who's not really had the best of days. I mean, to be fair, he's been pretty much faultless all season, so you can't criticise him too much, to be honest. And I think we are going to bring Trent Alexander-Arnold off as well for Joe Gomez. As much as we'd love to win the group, I think that we've got to keep ourselves fit for the games that come up. But we might look to try and push forward and see if we can go and win this one 2-0 or even 3-0. But Barcelona might have something to say about that. You never know. Busquets to Alba again. Joe Gomez put him under some nice pressure, to be fair, but a lovely hoofed ball through. But Laporte is all over that. Back to Alisson. Really put it out to Robbo, but okay, he's just booted it out. A little bit of a silly decision, I'd say, there. I think Robbo was in plenty of space, but a rubbish decision by Griezmann to knock it back to the... What has Firmino done? He was one-on-one, he'd beat the keeper, and he's put it wide. Oh, that's desperate. I don't think 2-0 would have been enough anyway, because they've got a better goal difference, I think. I'm going to bring Naby Keita on for Sander Berge. Yeah, they've got a better goal difference, so we'd have to go and beat them by another 2 goals. So we might as well go very attacking. We might as well tell the lads to demand more from them. It ain't going to hurt. There we go. Toby Jones wants more from his team. Come on! Get the Anfield crowd behind them. Matip into the box. It's put out by Barcelona. I feel like that decision against Barcelona could come back to bite us on the bottom. And they could go and get an equaliser here. But not the best performance from Barcelona whatsoever here. I mean, they've already qualified, so not so much at stake for them. But let's see. Can we go and win this by 2 goals now? A bit of a silly pass really there from Alisson. But Barcelona just haven't looked very good today, especially in the second half. But Salah on the wing gets dispossessed by Jordi Alba. And Salah, well, he does fight to get it back, to be fair. He runs for it. Luis Suarez, I mean, he's not really done too much all day. Can he do anything now in the dying minutes of the game? Griezmann to Sergio Busquets to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum, Sergio Busquets, through to Griezmann. Jordi Alba, can they get a late equaliser? Matip gets the ball out. Joe Gomez just hoop the ball up, son. That's more like it. Firmino, can he do anything with this? Puts it to Henderson. Jordan Henderson, ball through to Mo Salah. He's on with the keeper. You can just tell how those are going to end. You really can. But against Barcelona to go and get 20-odd shots, despite the fact that they have already qualified and wouldn't be too bothered, is definitely testament to us. But I feel Barcelona could have something to say. Just 60 seconds left. Can they get a late equaliser? And definitively be top of the group on points. But Henderson wins the ball back. Can we have a late counter-attack? Possibly. Henderson, just pass the bloody ball. Firmino shoots. Tame shot, really, from Bobby Firmino. Oh, I'm losing my voice commentating on all this. But Ter Stegen puts it out. I don't think they're too bothered. But I don't think a win against Barcelona should be understated. Qualified already or not. We're going to end the Champions League Group E on 15 points. I mean, we're second in the group, but there's not too much we can do about that. I'm going to have a quick look after this game at who's top the other group so that we know who we could take on in the next round. But I suppose all 16 clubs in that frame are going to be as good as each other. But we are going to tell the lads, you know, it's a good win. A win against Barcelona. You can never criticise a win against Barcelona, I think. Let's have a look. I mean, Celtic and Schalke drew, even though the Schalke man got sent off. Let's have a look. So we can either face Man City, Milan, Atletico Madrid, Tottenham. I'd love to face Tottenham in their current form. But bear in mind that it's not for another 2.5 months, is it? Barcelona, Porto, PSG or Real Madrid. Who could we have faced otherwise? Shakhtar, Bayern, Arsenal, Galatasaray, Ajax, Dortmund or Salzburg. I mean, granted, we have got the poorer draw, haven't we? But it depends who we face, I suppose. I think Milan, Tottenham, Porto would be a nice draw. Of course, PSG, Real Madrid, Atletico or Man City wouldn't be that great. We'll have to see how we get on. Can we retain our title for the 3rd time in a row? Anyway, we are going to come back for, of course, we are taking part in the FIFA Club World Cup once again. I don't actually know who's going to be in this. There's 6 teams left. Only be 4 teams by the time we get to the semi-final. I can't even remember who we played last year, you know. Who did we play last year? We played against Atletico something or other in the runners-up, but none of those teams are in. I do recognise Al Sadd, but I think they're out of it. They're managed by Xavi, but as you can see, no, they aren't out of it. Are they out of it? I mean, Auckland have been knocked out, so why are they still... Oh, I don't know. But you'll find out next episode anyway what is going on with that. We'll play the FIFA Club World Cup in the next episode. I'd love to come back for the Carabao Cup quarter-final as well, but just haven't really got the time for that at the moment. We'll play the FIFA Club World Cup, and then I think after that we'll probably come back for the Chelsea and Leicester games. But next episode, it'll be time for the FIFA Club World Cup. So a bit of a break from the Premier League season. Hopefully get that trophy for the 2nd time in a row. And hopefully we will do swimmingly for the next few games. But if you enjoyed that, very good episode, I think. I don't think 4 points is too bad out of those 2 games whatsoever. But if you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. I really appreciate it. It really helps the video go up in the search rankings. So if you signed in and thinking, no point leaving a like. There really is point leaving a like if you enjoyed. So make sure you do leave a like. Comment down below your thoughts as well. And subscribe for regular FM20 content. But apart from that, thank you very much for your company today. And I'll see you all later on. Goodbye for now.